you, Chad.
Slide it in there. Slide it in.
Throwing globs down.
Go.
Like it's kindergarten recess. You don't need to do that, dude. You're good. I'm fucking baked. What was the last one? Tropicana cookies, banana OG.
Damn, I really thought I was going to be okay.
Honey banana.
Give me a minute. I shouldn't have
Like
done
that
that.
medical cannabis.
I'm getting that feeling again like I had at your house that one time.
Uh-oh.
A few moments later.
A fucking bag full of edibles. I'm like, I'm sending it. Oh, I started getting like fucking hot flashes. I was like, oh, I'm getting nauseous. Oh, the curtains came fucking sagging down, dude. I was like, oh, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna start fucking seizing up in this airplane.
A new medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high.
Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High. Hosted by Uncle Kalei
You're gonna never come back. You know, all that stupid shit.
and Uncle Erik.
If I could like retreat away.
Yeah, you should definitely try that.
This is forever. This is the new reality.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Everyone knows you're high.
This episode is brought to you by Mills Nutrients.
Friendship joint.
Ooh, I love friendship joints. I love rolling joints and friendship. I love friendship.
I love smoking joints. What else? Go for it.
I don't really like smoking them, but I love rolling them. You know, one thing I also don't like is growing weed because it seems so cumbersome and difficult. Knowing what kind of nutrients and products to use, it can become cumbersome, like I said.
Cumbersome is the word for this commercial.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is some fire weed. Who grew this?
Yours truly.
Thought bubble.
Well, you can. If you come
You
by
can hear
our
my thoughts?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know that, man. If you come by our shop, we can help you out. Mills pays the bills, man. That's all you need to know.
What shop?
Guru's Grow Supply.
Where?
It's in Pearl City.
Ooh.
Majestic Pearl City.
Another one of my favorite things. Pearl City. How long has Mills been providing these high quality nutrients for?
Premium nutrients for 30 years. I've been cracking at it for about 13, so yeah.
Which is pretty crazy because if you didn't know, he's only 14 years old.
Because I was one.
But cool. So I'm gonna roll this friendship joint to celebrate our friendship. I love friendship. And to celebrate our love for millsnutrients.com.
Definitely do it. Millsnutrients.com. Check them out. Mills pays the bills.
Can we do something? 1, 2, 3. Mills pays the bills. Start the show.
Like a bitch.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High, starring the Girl Guru. And I am Uncle Erik. Thank you for joining us. This week it's nice and chilly in here. We got none other than. Do I use last name or no?
Mad Chiller's Hash House. Mad Chiller's
Headstash.
Headstash. The Hash Yeti. Fucking showing us his expertise and his professional touch.
Okay.
This episode. You like that, dude?
Welcome.
I know you like that fucking.
Touche.
That AKA.
The Hash Yeti.
The Hash Yeti.
like that too.
The hash Yeti already exists, but
Yeah.
But fucking.
makes amazing hash.
Yeah. We'll think of something else.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
Dang it.
Yeah, well, we'll hit the drawing board.
Mad
on that.
Chiller.
I
Mad
do-
Chiller Gorilla.
Mad
Chilla
Chilla Gorilla. There you go.
Oh,
That's
dude,
a
make
good
a
one.
Magilla Gorilla fucking just, yeah.
Yup. Yes.
Oh, we're on that. We
I
are
knew
so
one
on that.
other Yeti. It was the Midnight Yeti.
Oh,
Remember
Match.
the Midnight Yeti? Yeah. Shout out to Matt.
shout out to Matt.
The Midnight Yeti podcast that became the
And
We Are Hood
while
podcast.
he just joined while he's
What's
on.
up? I'm going to wave to him.
Shout out Jay, Hybrid Collective, for lacing us up with some heady pieces and some giveaway for everybody. So in the future, just
Shout
stay
out,
tuned,
shout
man.
out.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Located in beautiful Kaimuki, Wailea Ave, Center Street, somewhere around there, by the bank.
Bada bang.
Just out in the street from the old theater.
Yep.
What is that? Queen's Theater,
Well,
I think. Maybe. But anyway. Well, oh, Jesus, it's already going. Let's all stop and watch. Zoom in.
that's Spritzer.
Oh,
Single
I like the
source.
fucking pattern on the.
It's, it's the last of it. One of 4 remaining jars.
Oh, what's going on? My computer's gonna restart. Oh, that smells really good. Nice, nice, nice
Probably
aromatics.
a little hot, but
What did you say this was?
Doing your boy dirty right off the bat, huh?
Oh my god.
little.
Yes.
Yes.
You good? You good? I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of that this episode because we're dealing with hash and Yetis and they're hairy and like. Sometimes you get something caught in your throat and you cough a lot, and then you sweat a lot,
And then
And
you
then-
get the green fever a lot.
and then you just hold on to the armrests of your chair for a minute and sweat and breathe, and then everybody around you says, "You okay? You don't look so good. You don't look so good."
5 minutes ago, this was Eric.
But you know-
after that.
But you know what's up because you've been here before, so you're like, "I got this."
That's a veteran, bro.
And then shout out to our production crew behind the scenes,
Yeah.
Bud Naked and Turtle Doves. Welcome back, Turtle Doves. You've been gone for a
Fuck
long
yeah,
time, dog.
man. Welcome back.
Thank you to everybody who's joining us on live.
The best IG name ever.
What is the best IG name ever?
He just joined. My
Who's
dude.
that?
Phil.
Harry Punani. Shout out to Harry.
Classic. That spritzer's nice.
What's a spit? What is that? What's a spitzer?
I forget what the cross is on it. I'm trying to remember.
So is that what that dab was?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk the genetics of these washing strains, dude.
Let's get into it, bro. What are
That's
all?
something I
is
always
that what?
fucking wondered.
Shit
Yeah,
on the
so
table.
runts is a grape pie.
Bring the mic up,
runts-
bro.
Oh, grape pie times runts times Mac cross. My
That's where
mentor Joe Schmo gifted the farm at Carawilo this cut, and it was the first single source that we really ran rows, not rows of, but a full row of spritzer. The last run that we did. And,
Runts, Mac,
times grape pie.
great pie.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm not a big Mac fan, but
Neither am I.
yeah, it's just interesting. Joe told the story about how he went up to Emerald Cup, waited in line to get a specific, I forget what it was called.
Is that from Cap?
I don't remember. I could tell you. I think that's Canorado.
Oh yeah.
Could be wrong.
Jamie, pull it up.
It's amazing how like seedfinder.eu that'll show the whole genetic breakdown of the strain. You type in spritzer, and it'll go like a family tree. I always use seedfinder.eu. Shout out to the guys.
Shout out.
But they're like 80% accurate.
Is that good enough most times?
It allows you to dig further into it, right? So you use that and you cross-reference it. And if you start seeing that same makeup over and over again, it's pretty much like you can take it as fact. Or you just ask the breeder himself, you know what I mean?
Is this the kind of site where you can like email them and be like, hey, I found something that contradicts what you have posted. Would you update it? And they would, or it's like, fuck off.
A lot of times, EU will say unknown.
Yes.
And that's just part of genetics in general. A lot of times, some of these crosses, people didn't know what the cross was.
Yeah.
They could get a description of what maybe the lineage was from. But it's at least a dive into the lineage, either on the mother or father side, that you can dive deeper in. I love listening to the guys that aren't just seed makers, but people that are in genetics and into breeding, specifically breeders. Ross Kaya is somebody that I've gotten to know a lot recently and speak with. And you've used to talk about this, Kalei, when I was first getting into cannabis and learning a lot about growing, was working your lines and understanding various traits that will come out of each line or each mother or father that you're running. And it's just really interesting because I never really thought about it, but it's like me and my brother. We came from the exact same seed. My brother's 6 foot, 200, 300 pounds, and
Your
I'm
dad's balls.
6'6", 220.
Yes.
So it's like, and if you continue to like look and work different lines, you can see different genetic traits that come up. And it's just cool because a lot of these guys will do the long-ended work to find old traits that have been lost. So that's cool. I love hearing that and learning about it because, I mean, everybody, it's not like it's a unicorn. Like I talk about this all the time. People will talk about cups and all these different competitions. And if you make hash, hopefully you have a handful of chicks in your catalog that are washers and that are your favorites. That whether it's a gassy profile or a fruity gas profile or something that's heavy indica, like a GMO specific or something like that. What's really cool now is we have breeders working lines and working specific genetics for washers.
Yep.
There's a bunch of different people doing specifically. I've been able to watch and work with Little Lake Valley Seed Co., T. Beazle. And I got to meet him last year at Melting of the Heads in New York and really understand a lot more of what people are looking for in the genetic makeup. I'm not in a breeder or anything like that, but what they're looking for in specific traits for what would describe as washer or characteristics that you would look for to hopefully be able to put in your garden, duplicate, and get the return on investment for washing.
And that's what's pretty fucking unique about like breeding, you know, for washing. Is like these guys slap together some strains. It's popular. Like you look at the Oreos, right? You don't even know if that would yield you anything in a wash. Like we wouldn't even know, but it's a looker, right? So like, not saying Oreos is something that, you know, we'll slap together. But some people like, oh, you know, I'm going to breed. I'm going to breed for this. They're not understanding the true science behind that procedure. Like, oh, okay, it's like doing Punnett square for the whole plant. You can't do that. There's so much different traits that pop up in the plant. You don't know what the fuck's going on. So I think like proper selection of your phenotypes and like if people were to, you know, start a company or want to go in that direction, focusing on their phenotypes and focusing on like a really controlled way of doing things and moving forward. And those seed companies, they fucking stand out. Those genetic companies like, oh, yep, we got these breeders for washers. Fuck, those guys stand out every single time because they know how to select them. And they have a mission and they're like right on it, bro. You can see it.
It's a passion, and like a lot of these genetic guys started making hash, whether it be for their own personal use or trying to get the cleanest medicine into their body, which is cool. I really love how people are starting to concentrate more on the craft cannabis and also extracted forms of it, solventless forms. You see a lot of kids at skate parks. We could go into a whole legalization conversation, but you see kids at skate parks and soccer moms, people at bus stops hitting vape pens that are distillate, and we could go on and on over solvent versus solventless, but a cleaner, more cannabinoid-rich medicine, whether you're eating it, topical, whatever, or ingesting it. Pardon me, not ingesting it, but sparking it and inhaling it. But yeah, it's really interesting because you see people that are really passionate about what they do, and it comes out in the resin. And whether it be how they grow it, but more so the genetics that people are really diving into.
Right.
It's just cool to see because it's hard when people are concentrated on growing for flower, not really having chicks that can wash, or having the decision to confidently go in and say, hey, I'm going to take that row and give it to you, and you take it and tell me what you get back.
What it's different because, like, if you're looking at medicinal value in a whole, breeding for flower sometimes can offer you some medicinal benefits that hash can't.
Yes,
But it's pretty
Certain strains
crazy.
as well.
Exactly. So, like, breeding for hash washing and whatever it can come with terpenes that would make the entourage effect beneficial for certain things, right? So that's the additional challenge. Like, how do we get this fucking genetic trait, which is going to result in this terpene profile, to go to progeny? Like, how the fuck are we going to do this? And that's the true fucking science, is that specific trade selection of, I'm going to test my strains. I'm going to test mom and dad. And I'm going to see what comes out in the next generation. So it's not like, oh, F1, boom, send it out. No, it's fucking, they're going F1, and, oh, we found a keeper. Okay, let's try and lock in the genetics. You know?
That was part of the change. I'm not well-spoken on growing in the seed game and seed culture, but I've been a pothead all my life.
Totally.
And the seed rush, we'll call it, everybody and their mom started chucking pollen and making single strains and going out and putting their name on it without really testing it. And that's important in my experience working on various farms, is understanding what you're growing and where it's specifically. I learned at it as look at the globe and look where you're positioned and understand each cultivar is grown in specific regions or do better in specific regions. And if you don't know that and you're giving it away to people and it hasn't been tested or, I don't want to say given out to that environment and tested, but back tested over and over again. It's important because you see a lot of people give out indoor strains that come out to Hawaii that aren't ready or able to transition to our light cycle. So it's important, especially when you're making that decision like I was discussing, having the confidence to get a farmer to go towards fresh frozen and know that they're going to get the return. I've seen in my own experience being given tens of thousands of grams of strains that don't specifically wash. Super Lemon Haze, your Jack Herrera's, and things like that, which are unbelievable cannabinoids and plants that you never see in extracted form because they don't wash well. Right. So it's cool because you got all these people that are passionate about wanting to find these old genetic traits, but also with breeding, being able to bring in washing characteristics and still accenting whatever those previous traits that they were looking for that are past and gone. West Coast Alchemy is working with a bunch of different farms that you've seen some of these sativa strains that you never heard of, and the only time you've heard of them in extracted matter is in hydrocarbon blends or BHO because they perform a lot better.
Right.
So, yeah, it's really cool. I've enjoyed it. It's become a passion of mine. I felt like a kid jumping in school all over again. yeah, the farm gave me that experience to really give my heart and soul and turn out all my attention over to trying to create the best solventless extracted form of medicine that we could get out to our patient base.
Totally.
So that was super cool, especially to see the transition in the market now that a lot of people are going towards solventless, and seeing the medicinal value behind the endocannabinoid and entourage effect. If you look at a simple bar or graph chart, when you have THCA alone, it's just a spike, and then it gradually or quickly goes down. A lot of cannabinoid-rich medicine, whether it be flower or concentrates, you'll see a lot less of a plateau, rather than the spike and drop. With his, I used to say, I don't know who taught me this, but it's like the Power Rangers. When our powers combine,
That's
what
Captain Planet.
Voltron.
There you go.
Or Voltron.
But someone applied it to me for the endocannabinoid system, and the more cannabinoids you have, the better they work. So, yeah,
Power
it's super
Rangers
cool
too.
to see.
Power Rangers actually came together too, right?
Yeah.
I think so. with the
Megazord.
rings.
Yeah, Megazord.
Yeah.
Dude, and
You can bring that mic closer too, bro.
and honestly,
Grab the fucking arm and just like bend it towards you, flatten it out. There you go, and then lift it up, and then grab it by like the underneath like this,
manipulate it.
and then just like bring it up to your mouth.
Don't forget to touch
Yes,
the bean
that
bag.
right there.
Yeah, and you can just like kind of rock it back and forth a little like this.
Fucking guy, dude. So yeah, I mean, back to like the strains and the medicinal
Sorry.
benefits of everything. Like, what do you look for in a strain that washes?
There's a lot of different traits, to be honest. Like, people will do the resin check, people will test wash, people will look for nose, look. A lot of times touching the resin, if it's super, super greasy, as opposed to sticky, and the gland sticking, a kind of a tackiness is one way that people will test. The old way is do a test wash. There's people like Pele Pilar and other companies, Low Temp and other brands that have now kind of made it easier with smaller sample batches to be able to take a simple jar like this and throw in a 220 and shake with a 220 bag, and just throw a bunch of fresh frozen nugs. You don't even have to freeze it, and do a test shake. That's probably the most familiar way for people looking for those. But yeah, I've seen people give people cuts, and they be 4% or more, and people run it and get 2%. And it comes down to people understanding what they're growing and what that plant needs for it to express what it needs and kind of what you're looking for in that trichome head. And that goes all credit to the growers. I like to say I'm a novice grower. I've been able to learn over the past few years I got to, when I moved home, grow with you and start that project in Cunilla. And I consider myself a novice grower, but I have had the opportunity to look at a lot of different plants and go through gardens, and it's really interesting what you'll see and what you smell and what you're looking for in the trichome head, all the way down to when it's proper time to take that gland for fresh frozen specifically.
That's why. Remember we were talking about earlier. I'm like, I'm fucking tired. Like, oh, why don't you try it? Nah, I'm kind of with cannabis too. People are like, I can do everything. Nah, you gotta fucking really focus. If you don't, it's gonna lack someplace else. It's not something that you can be like, yep, I'm an expert at everything. Nah, it doesn't work that way. You gotta kind of know your lane and just stay in that fucking lane. Because they're like, oh, why don't you just do it, Kalei? I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking do it. I'm tired. I'm focusing on this soil. I'm focusing it to that point where we can do something like that. I don't want to fucking do it, Like, let me try do this job so it'll be easier on your job,
And that's, I like the ability for people to have different places, making those gummies. I had the ability to do them. I experimented in doing them at the farm, but I never really had the time. I was more focused in the ability to learn more and more and go and travel and learn from different people. Nicotine, my mentor Joe Schmo, I got to go up and train with him for over a week, and have done that 2 different times since.
So like when like Shaolin fucking
No,
movie,
it's
yeah?
but like for real.
Travel to the
Learn
mountaintops.
from the masters.
I
Sitting
laugh,
there.
and I'm not trying to like beat my drum or whatever the fuck you want to call it, toot my horn, but I have really had. I've been blessed to have the opportunity to travel. I got to go to Spain last year, meet some amazing hash makers, and learn kind of from their culture and what they've got going on in Spain and Europe, which I'd love to talk more on. But all the way down to meeting other hash makers, to meeting, like you're saying, it's crazy. But there's guys that have their own grow, and doing their own genetics. And it is like hats off to a lot of these guys, because they put in the work. And that's like my dream, is to have my own single source farm and still be able to wash and help others that don't have the either ability cost-wise to go in and afford to do a build out, or just don't have the time and want to hand it off to let me do what I kind of learned to do. Same thing with like bringing in a soil expert or a grower that's been well versed in a specific region or whatever that may be.
Right. I mean, that's where to go. You know, it's sometimes I tell this to my clients all the time. It's like, oh well, can you work the greenhouse? I'm like, I could, but that's gonna get you nowhere. Like, I'm a one-man dude, and I can't fucking work as fast as whoever you have in mind. So, how about we just allow these people to do their job, and I'll just do my job, which is to coordinate and lay down a foundation to where these guys are organized and how to work. You know what I mean? So I'm not there, but I'm there. That's kind of where like the more vital spot to be. Yeah.
There are many hats to be worn on a successful grow or farm operation.
Yeah.
I have learned that hands-on in the last 6 years. And it's super important, people to know their role and know what's necessary in the infrastructure to grow, and knowing when to hand those tasks over to people.
Yeah. I mean, we can't do it all. So let's not fucking kid ourselves.
It takes a village.
But like
It
I
takes
said,
a village to grow good weed.
I'm not beating my own drum or anything like that, or trying to
Yes, you are. Come on.
hype what I've learned.
It's okay.
Been no.
That's fine.
It's been like I said, I got
You've been
sober.
blessed.
You know this in my journey. I got sober 6 years ago. Cannabis was part of my journey in getting sober, and I've really over the last couple of years dove head over heels and wanting to learn, and like I feel like a kid all over again, diving into books and reading. I haven't fucking read a book. I can't tell you how many books on my hand that I've ever actually really read from front to back in my life. And I've paid out of my own money to go on multiple trips to go to the Ganjour program and study, as well as go and train under these people. I love it. It's cool. And that's one thing I have to give credit to is people like Kyle wanting to teach people, people like Jason wanting to help a patient base and be able to get their feedback. I cannot overemphasize how much I was able to learn by being able to wash for the patient base, from the feedback from them of what they liked, what they didn't like, all the way down to how I was doing it, from what bags I was adding, what wash I was going till. There was a lot of experimenting and a lot of freedom on my end from the growers to give me the plants and let me wash them, but even more so being able to run through that much material and hear that feedback. Like I was mentioning, the kids on the skate parks smoking distillate carts and stuff like that. There's such a much better product out there, and we were able to firsthand see that with our patient base of experimenting and creating a solventless program and getting them hash rosin edibles, hash resin, live resin, cartridges, disposables, and so forth like that. It was cool to hear that feedback, and I cannot overemphasize how blessed I was to have that opportunity, but also the feedback that I heard from the patient base, taking the time out to go sit down with them on patient days, hear what they didn't like, all the way down to sampling the medicine with them. It was really, I don't know, it was cool to share my passion of what I was learning firsthand with the patient base and hear what they really enjoyed about it.
You applied your passion.
Yeah.
Plenty to be grateful for.
Yep.
Speaking of which, it's thankful joint time. Hey. I'm thankful for fresh air and just the ability to breathe, and portable indoor air conditioners, because holy shit, it would have been real bad if it was hot in here and I was fucking
Your
overheating
shirt
like
would have
that.
came off.
Dude, yeah.
went green.
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
he handled
for
it
sure.
like a fucking champ.
But anyway.
You did good, dude. You did
I'm
good.
grateful for that. Yeah, and the support of friends to see through tough times. There's a lot to be grateful for.
I was like, nah, we don't have to catch Eric. He's fine. He got this, guys. He's been here before. I've seen him recover. Proud of you, man, for sobriety, and I'm proud of you for choosing cannabis as a way of healing, you know. There's other methods that you could have chose, but I'm glad you went this direction.
No.
And I'm glad it healed you, bro. I'm happy that you are sober and you're happy. You know what I mean? That means more to me as a friend than just seeing you go about daily life. You actually found relief in something that made you happy. That's fucking, so what's up? That's awesome.
And I got to practice it, and that's what I'm super blessed about.
You want to hit this in, say what you're thankful for? I just want to also say shout out again to Hybrid Collective for the tips.
Yeah,
Brother
yeah.
Jay.
For the tips, multi-size tips for your smoking pleasure. Right, has his
Pretty
logo
wild.
and or Oahu on it.
What are you thankful for, sir?
Oh yeah, sorry, I just fucking
What
talked
am
all
I
over
thankful for? I'm thankful for, I don't know, my sobriety, but also like having the ability to work in something that I love and do. You hear people talk about it, find your passion, find your love. I had a lot of friends. I chose to go to school, get your degree, go as far as you could go, got my master's degree in business, did corporate sales, and I resorted to drinking to deal with the stress and uncomfortableness and the highs and lows of sales and business and failed job and new job experience. And to be able to come home and work with the plant, be able to produce my own medicine, work at the cooperative. I worked at KHON when I came home as a sales.
You were on the KFC commercial.
Yeah, I did.
You and Ricky.
I did a few things,
I saw you butting into that Sammy,
but yeah,
drinking that cola, hair all slick
gotta
back.
be fast,
See
but
this
gotta
guy.
be quick, baby.
There
No,
you go.
But
What'd you get paid for that?
I got paid nothing. That was for our
For the love.
corporate KFC account. They needed a model, and they didn't have a budget, so my ass had to go find homie Ricky. And
Was the sandwich good at least,
It
dude?
was all right. I thought we were
okay.
gonna get KFC for the year or some shit, but it was all good.
Hey, Ricky, by the way, we ain't getting paid shit.
It wasn't even my account. That was the funniest shit. But no, from like being able to like, I don't know. That was what people in our society used to aspire to. And same thing with like drinking and partying. I was a collegiate athlete, and I don't want to say the successes and failures, but the highs and lows of, I don't want to say not making it or failure of not making it in business, but I was never really happy with what I was doing. And it's been really, really cool to be able to do something I've been passionate about and work in it. I was just thinking about it today. There's a lot of guys that were passionate about this plant and were never able to find a space to operate in. And that's a lot of those legacy growers or people that have spent the time with the plant. And
Give him a chance.
I'm stoked to be able to have this seat at the table and be able to hopefully pave a career for myself, but also hang my hat as someone that helps people and has an expertise in providing something that can provide relief to somebody. You used to tell me about it all the time. I used to see it firsthand, but when people used to talk about hearing and being able to grow your own plant and gift something to somebody that's in desperate need or relief, and to hear their stories coming back to you, the relief, and whether it be somebody that is stage 5 and can't eat, or going through chemo and can't figure out what their plan of attack is and they're ready to give up, just the quality of living is a huge benefit. But the ability to
Shout out to Bongi.
What did he say?
I remember Brother Chad from the Thirsty Thursdays dollar bottle nights at the Lion.
Oh, you know that.
Oh,
Red
jeez.
Lions.
Yeah, Bongi.
Wow.
Oh, bro, that was the $20 you could go and get wasted. That was that, and then across the street, bro. Shout out to Bongi, him, and that's what I love is the boys that I knew from college days that are actually in the cannabis industry, like to come full circle and still, and I want to say would love to be able to continue to hang my hat in that, but yeah, we used to rage. Those guys used to protect us.
Fuck yeah,
I got
Bongi.
stories about Micah and him fighting the football team when we were on the volleyball team at UH, and just, I don't know, a lot of good fun times. And yeah, it's cool to be able to see the maturity in our friends, especially me. I wouldn't be here today. But yeah, that's what I used to aspire to. That's what I used to think was the epitome of making it, was being able to go out and rage and have the money to do that. But also, I had more front row experiences at concerts that I don't remember from being fucked up or blacked out that I actually get to enjoy now.
I'm thankful for fucking being able to remember everything going up, because I always chose cannabis over everything. You know, like, yeah, I dabbled in drinking and shit. Like, I got fucking wasted. You know, I had those days. But, like, bottom line, I always was a weed smoker, like, throughout life, man. Like, ever since I was young. Like, just smoking weed.
I mean, everybody had their phases, I think. Not everybody. Maybe not everybody. A lot of us had our phases, maybe I should say, to, like, qualify that, you know what I mean, of different things and experimenting and, you know.
What about
But,
you, Blood Naked? What are you thankful for?
Thankful for this dad.
New beginnings.
New beginnings?
New beginnings.
Oh, yeah?
Like, you know, sometimes you take a fat dab and you get, like, fucked up.
Yeah, and you come to. You're like, I can do this, guys. I'm fucking proud of you, Eric. Dude.
Thank you.
Look
Nah,
at
you're a
you,
soldier,
man.
bro.
Thank you, bro.
Eric,
Fuck
you're a soldier
yeah.
now. You're a soldier,
Dude,
man.
Thank you.
this guy. The very first podcast.
Red Lions.
Fucking very first podcast. Remember?
Mere mortals would have perished.
Fuck yeah.
That's why
Hell
most
yeah.
don't travel the road I walk.
I'd like to think we
I
all came
walk.
up.
You're a
different
Ronin,
path.
dog.
I think we all came up.
You ever seen?
I don't know.
Fucking pheno hunts.
Clay and I go
Get us seasoned.
way back.
Dude, remember we were fucking at at Charlie's fucking friend's house? It was on the first floor of this duplex. And all he had was shake, and he's like, you gotta lick your fingers, make a ball, and put it in the bowl. I was like, holy shit, this is gnarly. But we got fucking super
I
faded.
don't remember that.
It doesn't
My
sound
brother-
sanitary for one.
My brother used to get me.
Bro, I have some
my friends.
stories at
And
Charlie.
it's funny because half of them I don't ever remember.
Bruh, this fucking guy's like, Kalei, you want to do a side job with me? I'm like, word, let's
Ew.
go. Come on, dog. That's a far-fetched one.
Was this a Christmas tree story or?
No, so we help two of his friends move, right? And so we're
Nurse chicks.
Yeah. Dog. So I'm like, all right, I'm fucking, and he's like fucking snapping beers, and he's feeding me beers. I'm like, okay, I gotta slow down, dude. We're moving
Charlie.
furniture, and then like, yeah, it was a fucking adventure that whole day, and I think he just paid me like $50. I'm like, wow, oh my god, Charlie, we helped your friends move everything, and it's like, All right, we're good. It's all good. I love you.
You got to
dude.
drink all day for free, right?
I guess.
That's what his thought was.
I guess. I wasn't there to drink.
Turtle doves. I know you're
The
not.
legendary Charlie Miller, dude.
I know.
He
I
was
know you're
fuck-
not.
He's
'cause
awesome.
I know you're not partaking because you're on Kapu. But what are you thankful for?
It's all good. Mike's
Regardless.
smoking it for me.
Yeah.
He took
But
double
Nike,
credit.
just take an extra one for him.
I will.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm thankful for sleep, man. Like I love
What is that?
sleep, dude.
What is
It's
that?
Exactly. What is that? I mean, it's what you get to enjoy when you have a moment to put your head down and like close your eyes just for a little bit, and and wake up to get that energy to do it all over again.
Sleep again.
How many naps a day you take?
None.
Oh.
I just push through. Why
What time you usually
I
go
know you
bed?
take a nap when you like get straight
My
there.
old ass succumbed to
I don't take
taking
no
naps. Like, fuck.
I will say I do love a good nap.
Now, on those
Short,
down
14,
days,
14 minutes is good too. Just a short one, you know what
I
I
can't
mean?
do that shit. It ruins my day. I get all fucking cranky, dude. I want to punch someone in the face.
4 minutes
If
to
you
sleep.
take a nap?
4 minutes to fall
14
asleep.
minutes?
10 minutes
Bro,
to
no,
actually
if you
sleep.
take a nap?
So when I went on my
I
recruiting
took a
trip
couple naps.
to Pepperdine,
Talking over each other, bro.
when I went on my recruiting trip to Pepperdine, I
Yeah.
stayed with John Grobe, and Marv Dunphy is sitting there trying to educate us on power naps, and he's telling us how he takes 20-minute naps, and I'm like, motherfucker,
I had
it
a-
takes me more than 30 minutes just to fall asleep.
Yeah. No, I can't
I
do
never,
that
I
shit.
never was a big napper.
Remember, what's the
But
fucking-
different strokes for different folks.
What is that UCLA coach that did the pyramid of success?
Basketball or the
Yeah, basketball.
Bob Odenkirk.
No.
Dan
Oh, it's
Shifsky.
fucking coming to me. I should know already.
Peter Pemberton.
Can someone look that up? It's gonna fucking bother me.
He's the most
What,
inspirational.
what are we looking up?
UCLA head coach, pyramid of
bro.
success.
got you. We can
Skates is the volleyball, but his is.
Out skates is dope.
But no, fucking basketball is. He's got all the fucking inspirational
Wooden.
quotes.
Coach
John
Wooden.
Coach Wooten, John Wooten.
Wooden.
There you go.
Why the fuck do I even have this?
So like, dude, John Wooten is like, he talks about fucking getting sleep and shit, and he recommends a bunch of tiny little fucking naps.
Even
I'm like,
What's
fuck
his
that,
name?
dude. Fuck that guy. Kiss my ass, Mr. Wooten. I'm gonna fucking sleep.
that's what Jocko Willing said too. 10 minutes with your feet up.
Jocko Willing's also a fucking Navy SEAL, and he kills people for a living, dude.
Yeah, that's why I like agree with what he says.
I would agree to anything he says.
Yeah.
Yes, Jocko.
Take a nap for 10 minutes, bitch.
Just fucking fall asleep. Just force myself to sleep.
Yeah. Like when you're a kid and your parents would go to bed and you're scared.
Bruh, shout out to my boy Paul. So he's like a brown belt on his way to get his black belt, right? And he's like, bruh, the fucking craziest guy I ever trained with. He's like Jocko Willing. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, that guy makes you feel like he could just fucking kill you with his bare hands. Like, and Paul's big as shit. He's like 260, 280. Big fucking dude, 6'1", 6'2". And he said Jocko just makes it feel like he's nothing. Like, that's fucking crazy. I was talking to him. I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, to imagine that.
I've never trained a day in my life, bro.
Bro, just imagine you not being able to do anything. Like, just trying to escape. And you can't. You know,
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
know, you
yeah,
wrestle
yeah,
with your
yeah.
boys, and you just totally decimate them, and they're like, ha, ha, ha. You tie them up, and you fucking.
I don't
give 'em a
have
rib
tickle
shot.
fights with my friends. We giggled. I assumed you were tickling because you had that giggle in there. But I don't tickle fight with my friends.
No, I'm talking about your boys. Your
Or my
sons.
boys.
Your boys.
Oh. I thought you meant like.
Jesus.
I thought you meant like.
You
your
just
boy-
assume the most
boys from the
homosexual
Hanabata
thing that I would.
You should start
Dude.
doing that.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
We've been boys since Hanabata days.
the annual. Everyone knows your high tickle fight.
Do it. Do it.
Shut the lights off. Wake up, someone doesn't have their pants on.
I
Like,
think we got.
I think it sounds.
think we got
It
night vision.
sounds funner than it actually would be. It'd probably be like.
got night vision.
it'll
on
be
these
creepy as
cameras.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like I'll be,
Ow.
I'll be doing nut shots. Just walk around fucking blindfolded.
Yeah, no
everyone's
thanks.
tickling
Then I'm out.
real high.
I'm out.
You should do the one where you strap those like chicken things to your feet. You see
Oh,
those?
Dude, that one fucking makes me laugh.
Those noisy chicken thing, I like snap each other's back of their
And the
legs.
other guy
and
has a
shit.
blindfold with a bat.
Yeah. Fucking classic,
God,
dude.
that would be great. We should do that.
That Spritzer's nice. I got super fucking high off of that thing.
Hopefully that cut is still.
I'm trying my best, man. Fuck. The
No, it's
ember.
all good. We have
The
another
ember
cut of
was
it.
very, very.
Roachy.
What is the mechanism that makes you get super hot and sweaty like that after a dab?
The fight or flight.
Panic? Is it panic?
Someone was whispering to me in this fucking headphones.
I think it's a combination of things. Lack of oxygen and the quickness of like you cough a lot and that.
Hyperventilating.
Could it be the heat from the dab too? Once you're inhaling it into your system.
Because the warm,
Yeah.
hot dab smoke is
100%.
vapor.
A hot dab will definitely make you sweat. Hotter in temperature, but I think a lot of that is also
Lack of oxygen.
the lack of probably the end of that lack of oxygen.
And like my dignity goes out the fucking window sometimes when I take a dab. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking cough and sweat and spit all over your booth. I'm so sorry. And I just fucking let it hang. Like, I mean, I don't dab often, so I just kind of be like, all right, dude, when you do this shit, you go all in. And it is what it is. Fuck it.
Totally.
I can appreciate it though, like especially that last dab was a little hot. Didn't really matter. Still can taste everything, you know. You could see it on the banger, you know, but it's because it's too hot. But it didn't change the way it tastes.
Yeah.
It smelled super good.
Yes, sir.
Certain ones will. So like
Resin's hitting the market, guys, and there's a reason why it's a lot cheaper than rosin.
What is the difference? Can somebody explain that,
That's the guy.
resin,
sir? Versus
Resin?
rosin?
resin versus rosin.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that the words you're saying?
Resin.
Resin,
is-
resin. Rosin.
Raisins and
Raisins.
There's
craisins.
a lot of back and forth about this. Usually, the specifier in using resin and rosin is usually coined between solvent and solventless. Resin being BHO or hydrocarbon gas extraction, or CO2, and then solventless is usually ice water hash, air dried, or sift. Or
squish.
flour rosin.
Oh.
And then you have your references of fresh frozen as opposed to dried cured rosin. And they all have their all different categories, so to speak. A lot of people are getting into live resin and live rosin. What that comes down to is how people are growing it and in the bulk. I just got to talk to a guy who's out here on vacation that owns Flying O Farms. And just trying to get the understanding of how these people run their SOPs to take fresh frozen in fields of plants.
Would you use that SOP and just replicate the SOP, or would you use the SOP and then try to polish it up in your own manner?
So like something like that, they're taking such volume that there is no way in taking, it's like the funnel. If you're taking that much bulk in that much of a pinch of a time frame to get those plants down, you've seen it. Same plants growing side by side. Some are different and some are ready than others. And a lot of times they have to make those decisions like, hey, great ladies, it's coming down. Tonight's your night. You're all coming. And they rush that process. Or the attention to detail that a small boutique grower or somebody with 50 plants that's hands-on all the way through, that's pulling those leaves, that's looking at those trichomes, as opposed to bulk and taking that full plant. And like,
I see a lot of monocropping too. Like when people monocrop, they don't realize there are variables in the soil as well. So like you gotta lock in the soil and the fucking monocrop particular, you know.
And I'm not saying bulk is bad, but
Totally.
it's the ability to take that plant when it's ready and get that expression of it for what you're looking for is really difficult to do that all the way through. And in that bulk. And a lot of times you'll see rosin coming out from areas, whether it be full outdoor at the end of long season or outdoor that's grown uncovered, large, and mass produced. And what I mean by mass produced, guys are taking huge machines and processing this fresh frozen. I ran the Osprey at the farm, and people used to say that was a very large volume machine that would run. I would never really run it more than 10 to 12,000 grams at a time. It could run up to 30,000 grams. There's people that are running machines with minimum loads of 100,000 kilos. So when you get into that, that's what a lot of this bulk rosin that's coming into the scene, or people don't understand what exactly or who the integrity behind is washing that and smashing that and allocating which bag is going to where and what wash is going to who. Some people mix it all together. Some people are doing, hey, I'm taking out the 70 and 90. This is for the heady boys. This is for my personal stash. I've got bulk of 45 in the 120 bag. Let's run it. And that's what you see, people that are uneducated or don't understand what and who they're purchasing from.
No, I got a question.
And that's...
I had a pretty dumb question, too.
Start with your question, Eric.
Are there no like regulations to like regulate that shit, or is that, are we talking legacy kind shit, or are we is there no way to protect the consumers end of that, or just
There's nothing bad about those plants per se. Don't get me wrong, guys are running into problems into the field, but more so the resin ripeness. We can go back and forth. I was trying to look for the article by Frenchie Canoli today about outdoor.
He wrote it today.
No. It was just funny. I was looking for it today. But the aging of trichomes and the medicinal values and cannabinoid richness and specifically terpenes.
Because even aging it has a different profile.
And in addition, that was one of his last researches, was that indoor under LEDs does not age as well as sun-grown.
So what about...
That was part of it. I really wanted to be able to divulge more into what that article was saying, but basically there's a lot of people that preach that. And
Well, my question is kind of related to that. When you're washing, the different microns, right? Yes, certain numbers look good and they collect heads, but some of the other shit, the impurities that fall within the unfavorable bags that you would call edibles,
Yeah.
wouldn't they have a medicinal value if it was all put together?
Oh, 100%. And like you mentioned, a lot of different things that either could be, depending on how that person is producing it and washing it, in bulk, if people aren't able to work those bags as much and clean them.
But like final product. Say you separate everything across the table. You have all the microns across the table. You got your favorable microns, right? But like the other unfavorable ones within a spectrum, wouldn't those be, considered to be added for the added?
If you're looking at it from medicinal rich, so I can describe to you. So like in your 45U bag, you're getting fractured heads and the smaller immature heads that were either from the plant further down or just places that didn't get as much growth or sunlight exposure, etc. 70U, you're starting to get into more mature, more ripened heads. The 90U and the 70U or 90s, a lot of people are now going specifically for the 90U, saying that it is the most desired, ripe, perfect head, as opposed to your 120 or your 159U. And even all the way up to like a 180, 190.
Yeah.
What are you getting in those? Sometimes you're getting stock, but you're also getting heads
Big
that are
fucking
super
heads.
ripe that don't.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more medicinal rich value in those. And it's funny
so the
because
higher
a lot
microns
of
is where you
these-
want to go then.
A lot of these older hash makers and people around the craft, if they have a specific plant that, and it comes down to cultivar, some bags are terrible and just the 45U is just horrible. But a lot of old hash makers, you're going to see 45U, maybe up to 189. And that's because of the richness in that gland. Same thing with the medicinal value that I feel that you get off of a full melt hit as opposed to the exact same rosin. I shout out to Hybrid Collective, our boy Jay. He tapped me into solventless, and Kyle as well. But in understanding, lost my train of thought.
Shout out to Kyle.
Yeah, no, but hybrid. What was I saying? Oh, full melt in the comparison to rosin. We had some rosewater from Dr. Vert, and he had the full melt, and I had the rosin, and we sampled them back to back. And it wasn't until I had that I was like, whoa, that's way more full-bodied. You don't burn the plant matter, but it has that whole head that hasn't been exposed to a freeze dryer, that hasn't been pressed through a 25, 35U screen, and the lipids and other portions of it extracted out of it. And that produces a much more full-bodied, richer high in my personal experience.
And there's a common denominator, if anyone's listening and paying attention, is like care for the gland head, care for the trichome. That's like the common denominator of everything that we've been talking about from the start of this podcast. Like from what's going to get the gland head at its fullest potential. I mean, like we could use these marbles as a perfect example, right? For the people like immature.
I brought the book of all books, bro.
Oh no.
All this
Hustler.
talk about head, I gotta adjust my shorts. My pussy's getting wet.
Nice. I don't know what the fuck you're shaking it around. So like, okay.
No, I'm gonna give you
the higher micron will catch bigger shit like this.
Yes. Show the people. Yeah, show the cameras.
And then the smaller micron.
Here's your ripeness.
There you go.
And here's your.
Have you guys heard of the term solvent free? And how they're trying to say like things where you use like BHO or whatever that kind of stuff. As long as it's purged properly below a certain amount, you could, or not, maybe it was completely free, but you could say it's solvent free and advertise that and confuse people.
Let me read that book.
Have you heard of such a thing?
Yeah, it's called fucking a joint.
No. You never heard of some place? I don't know where I saw the video, but somebody was trying to say that.
Say that again.
About like solvent free.
It's like
using that term and changing it because like solvent free is like, yes, it was BHO, but it was purged of all the fucking butane.
I don't
so
know
like
about
it's
that.
I don't know
so
if
technically it's solvent free.
I call fucking horse.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
So they will. I believe the person that was from the Cannabis Expo, one of the panel speakers.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe.
Yeah,
could have been. No, I said I heard it somewhere.
Little redhead with a blue hat. He runs Nature's Labs.
I don't remember.
What he was talking about, it was hydrocarbon or BHO extraction. If they're doing it in a lab and it's in a market, it's usually being required in purging that enough of that has been removed to meet certain standards. But that you could specifically say that it's below 0.01 or whatever they draw it out to be. I do not speak that language, but considering it solvent free. But I go back to, and this is why I wanted to learn to create hash rosin, was something that Kyle taught me, was everything that you put in, you can't get out. Doesn't matter. And hydrocarbon extraction, was that 5? Yeah. 5 different gases. So there's 5 different residuals left over. Same thing with BHO a lot of the time. And what it comes down to is integrity. These guys are getting paid off of weight. Yeah. Residuals is additional weight. Yeah. So that, when the BHO scene and hydrocarbon and shatter to fucking soup, whatever you want to fucking call it, every different
dingleberry,
all the different names,
every
of the
different
shit.
name for live resin, and I think that gives it a bad name as well. Is all the different flip flops and changes.
You ever heard the term like the more man touches it, the more it's all fucked up?
Yes.
Who said that?
I paraphrased that. Kalei.
Who said that?
Kalei did.
Well,
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
It goes down to I believe there's a place in this world for all forms. There's certain strains that don't wash well.
Well,
and
I mean,
have
you're doing
unbelievable
like
medicinal value.
you're doing property manipulation, right? Like the property of this.
If you're going that further, all the way down to
What we're
isolate
doing
extraction, and
is we're
certain
using
things.
fucking an extraction that's solvent, you know, something that's actually saturating. That's the difference. That's gonna fucking hurt people, or can potentially hurt people. Who's to say? Fuck, I don't know. Don't
Most
listen to me.
people are smoking shined turds,
Exactly.
and most people are pulling a lot of that from byproduct. That leftover trim bin, that leftover molded or lowers that they didn't want to take,
Right there,
that's
man.
being used. And that's not
dead.
that's
Pass
not
me
always
a
the
book of
case.
papers.
Well, that's the thing too, man. Like,
But that goes around that integrity. And
yeah.
the protection, like the whole thing that you were asking about the outdoor grow and the protection around it goes down to like elements, and you can only protect so much. And that's why when you're talking about glands and their size, the further they get along in that, you want to have the best environment and try and control that as much as possible. And usually in that 70-90 U growth, you're able to do that. And sometimes you guys indoors will be able to keep those larger glands.
I know so
but the-
yield came up in like that 40s and shit like that when my boy washed it indoor. You know, the fucking shit, I totally lost my train of thought now. I tell everybody like dabs, because it takes such care to source good fucking dabs, it should be done as an icing on the cake. Like if you can't afford to smoke it all the time, it should definitely be your icing on the cake, like something that you can really and sit down and enjoy. Because I mean, let's face it, you're on the road, you're someplace else outside of home, you're gonna smoke a fucking joint or a bowl. You know, this is something where you want to camp out at home, where you're in your safe place. You're not gonna break your fucking rig. You can properly do what you need to do to properly medicate. You know, some people are like, "Fuck that! I'm gonna take this on the road." Da, da, da. Like, fuck, that's scary.
I took this to Spain.
I mean, that's different, right? You're taking
no.
that to a destination. Some people are like, okay, I'm going to go pull up to a park and take a dab. I'm like, no.
What did you put in this grinder?
That is Josie.
And that's
Huh?
that's another thing I
Can I
want
have more?
Sure.
There's not. Look at this though. I just want to show you, just so you know, I'm not being a greedy fucking hungry hippo. Look at this.
What up, Mason? Yeah, you're fine.
It's not that much, right? That's not enough for a joint.
Try it out, dude.
Try it out.
Jesus.
That's too much now. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy.
Now I can't
Shit.
roll that much.
Now that's-
Kalei.
We have, thanks to Hybrid Collective.
Now can I get that fat tip
We
back?
have fucking, right? We have the fucking custom-made tips. The fat, wide ones. You know, this reminds me of the cigarettes, the Cools. What are
No,
those
they were
called?
called. There was a brand that had them in there.
No.
Parliament.
It was a fucking. Yeah, those are fucking.
They had a plastic
ridiculous.
tip because the
Wasn't
filter,
the
the
Marlboros
cotton.
used to have the
No,
brown?
it was Cools. Cools, like, there's
You
Filter
know-
Kings
you-
and there's Wides.
Let's call.
Oh, you mean the fat cigarette?
Call
Oh, they're
moms.
white.
She'll.
She doesn't smoke those.
Oh, you're talking
It's
about.
you
I'm
say
saying
goes,
back in the
dog.
day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for another dab.
Yeah, what you got on the menu, dude?
That's the other thing that I don't want to say been blessed, but had the opportunity over the last couple of years from traveling and learning and diving head over heels into hash, is meeting a lot of different people that this is their craft.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a lot of friends that send me, from my mentor Joe Schmo to my good friend Terry up at Hash and Flowers. Most of them that I speak of are on their way to Spain right now.
Ross
but I've-
Kaya.
Yes, a lot of people that I've gotten to know over the last few years. I've gotten to enjoy their medicine and learn from them. So I have a bunch of Hash and Flower stuff. I've got some Joe Schmo Ban Oreos that's going around. Tropicana, Pineapple Pez, Melonade times Runts, Lemon Goji Sour Diesel times Lemon Goji Cranberry Skittles. banana punch, which is honey bananas times purple punch. This is the spritzer, which is was the entry that I had
That's a good one. Dude.
isolated for Legends of Hash.
That's a really good fucking dab. I just took. It was super clean. Coughed a little bit, but you know, I cough at everything.
As they used to say, I don't know if they say it anymore, but if you don't cough, you don't get off.
Jesus. I wonder if the production crew wants a dab. They both fucking shook their head in unanimous. Nope. Sorry. No,
Wise decision, guys.
yeah. And you know, I don't hate on the guys that are hustling fucking resin or whatever, BHO. Do your thing, but I'm going to try and educate everybody. And if you want to go in that route, that's fine with you. It's totally cool. Nothing against you guys. Do your thing. But
That's the education, and
we're going to hit it with the education.
People have to know what they're consuming, and I think it's unfortunate, but we live in Hawaii, bro. Things are expensive. We have constraints to what we can afford, and there's like there's a ceiling for most of our economy or society that can purchase rosin per se. So I'm not knocking on it, but a lot of these guys don't really know what they're consuming.
Totally.
And yeah, it's kind of like you'd said, and I don't want to say you can't afford it. But if you get up and go get it, you can afford it. Or
I mean, dude, it's hard. So if you're thinking, I'm talking about like a consumer level.
yeah,
Right. We're talking about the masses who consume herb, and they're watching social media and they watch people take dabs and all that shit. Oh, it's so fucking cool. Hold on, let me finish. And they're like, I want to do this, and this is the way I want to medicate now. I'm like, it's fine, but it's very expensive, and this is why it's expensive. Is they're taking the time to source the right fucking soil. They're trying to replicate the best conditions for the cultivar that's being planted. Not only that, they're picking it at optimal times. They're making sure the climate's perfect so that they can preserve the gland head from oxidizing, dehydrating, or just plain getting damaged because, you know, you're transporting it. And then they source the proper ice. They source the proper agitation device, or if they're doing it manually, they're agitating manually. Then you gotta fucking sift everything. Now the knowledge of the proper sift to use and a technique to extract the which is also a craft. Then to operate the mechanics after extracting that proper sift and then pressing it. So those are all like, that's form of alchemy if you ask me, because you're turning something and you're isolating it and completely changing the makeup and bonding it all together and making a totally different byproduct that's completely intertwined with the plant. So it shouldn't derive from the plant. Light it up, dude. One bit. So as much as the plant is like this profile and what its genetic potential has to offer, your washing has to replicate that.
Does the type of ice you use matter?
100%.
Really? You got to use like a certain kind of water frozen?
You normally want to use
What up, Kyle?
RO water
What is that?
or ice from an ice machine that's been heavily cleaned, preferably off of RO or cleaned water, and
What
then
does
going
RO
through
mean?
reverse osmosis.
Oh.
So that was one great thing about being at the farm is we had a RO machine that we used to clean our water for all of the feeding, but also I had the luxury of having an ice machine that ran off that water as well as the water that I ran. But we would also have to supplement with ice. It's really difficult. Like, people don't realize how much volume of water it takes in washing sometimes.
Use mine so you can clean it properly.
Get out of here.
Nah.
But yeah, all the way down to like cleanliness, cleaning your bags, the attention to detail, all the way down to like what's on your gloves when you're working, what's on the surfaces? Did you pack those bags of melt into the bags on top of the surface and then take those bags and fold the parchment on top of them where their melt was on the table and potential contaminants there?
Threw it on my car. My glove compartment.
It's like food processing. Like you gotta cross contamination and you gotta watch all that kind of stuff.
Because you're dealing with moisture, so microbials are a thing too. So things will grow on that substrate. Like, holy shit.
So, yeah, a lot of ISO or high grain alcohol.
Goddamn, good
We'd
job.
also get regular alcohol at the farm as well. But yeah, cleanliness is huge. And the attention to detail. I totally get that Hawaii and our consumer base as a economy is not $100 gram market, but I do believe there is a place for hash, and the education around it and people as the market grows, I think is huge. I had this conversation with you, I think it was a couple days ago. People are like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that, and oh, why don't you do this with this person? And it's like, a lot of it comes down to is that person at the ability to say, hey, I have flour to turn to rosin, or hey, I have the ability to turn this whole thing into it. A lot of people, I lost my fucking train of thought.
Don't have the ability to process their entire farms. People have like very limited resources in Hawaii, and Hawaii's not a 100-gram market, which I agree with you. But that's why I tell them, hey, dude.
What is Hawaii? How much a gram market is it?
No, people don't really want to spend that $100 a gram because that's kind of. I mean, the
Oh,
cost
that-
of living is
oh,
fucking
that's
ridiculous.
super
That's what you mean. Like the people of Hawaii don't want to pay 100 gram.
Standard gram rate is $65 to $80 for usually a first wash, 70 to 90 bag. Usually 70 through 120.
I'm not mad at this at all.
But
They're really nice.
something like that would be $20, and it's just a representation of the difference. That's cured plant matter that's been pressed. That had a lot of plant matter still in it, but like
The
that.
clean one.
Yeah, it just depends, and it's like, if a farmer has a flower market or is growing their plant outdoors and they have nugs but have lowers and don't have the ability to defoliate or aren't that much into their garden but have the ability to take lowers and maybe they don't have flower.
Speaking of taking loads, I'm gonna grab a parchment paper. Do you have parchment?
I have this thing and it's made of parchment paper and there's a keef in there.
Oh no, I'm good.
Oh.
I'll grab parchment. That's
Looks
actually
like drugs.
That's actually parchment.
Yeah, when I unrolled it, it has an ancient Egyptian scroll that talks about the spiritual benefits of cannabis. As well. So are these two the same strain, just at two
It's
different
the
stages,
same-
two bags?
One's been dry sifted and the other one hasn't. It's basically Trimbin Keef,
This?
and that's been sifted through.
And that's why this has a darker color to it, because there is more plant matter.
More plant matter, but it's all been screened through a 25U.
And this is for dabbing with?
I
Or-
wouldn't dab it.
What would somebody do with this?
I'm a schnob. Like
Eat it?
No, there's a lot of people that would smoke that and enjoy it. Depends on how they're consuming it. If you're taking a full-on dab on a perfectly heated quartz nail, you probably want to take it in between 550 to 650 to really enjoy that and consume those terpenes and cannabinoids at the optimal temperature. If you're taking it and throwing it on top of a bong load that you're taking a lighter to, or something like that, or rolling it into a joint, that's more than suffices. You have other plant matter that's burning around it. So like there's different, I like to, kind of like somebody else was saying earlier, maximize what you can get from the plant. And like kind of like what I was telling Kalei, if you can clean that plant matter out of that, it's a great opportunity to put it in hash holes or offer a $20 gram of rosin, and you don't make fresh frozen, but you have the leftover trim that you want to clean up. And there's different strokes for different folks. And that's the other thing too, is like if people are taking a full gram of BHO and dabbing it at once, they're spiking their THCA intake to where they need a huge dab. A lot of times if you're taking a rosin dab, I take very large dabs. You don't need as much, and a little bit goes a long way. So it's kind of like what Kalei was saying. Maybe you smoke flower during the day or in social environments, and then when you need to heavy medicate at night, you're taking those dabs, or a dab to get out the door in the morning, and smoking on your lunch break or whatever that may be of your medicating throughout the day. But I mostly smoke dabs, but as back to your question of like what I dabbed at, I had the luxury when working at the farm of, it wasn't a luxury also, it kind of sucked at certain bags, but I literally first wash, taste every single bag, the 45, the 70, the 90, the 120, the second pass, the fourth pass, and really getting to understand and taste when maybe a wash should have been stopped, or maybe that bag doesn't taste right. I don't want to add that with all this great rosin. So I consider myself, and many other people, I don't consider myself, other people consider me to be a hash snob, because I'm particular about what I smoke. But I take that more as an insult.
Maybe in general, could someone? Maybe I asked that way. I said, could you dab this? I didn't mean you personally, but could someone?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. We used to sell $20 grams of trim bin rosin at the farm, and a lot of people would consume it that way, or taking it on a honey straw. Back in the day, that's the only rosin we had was flour or sift rosin before all this fresh frozen came about.
The new technology evolved. Hey, what's up, buddy? Hi.
Dabbing's not couple.
Everything under the sun.
Yeah.
This.
What is this, Easter?
Even pussy.
Is this for Easters? For real, huh?
Yes.
It's for Easters?
For Easter. That's what he's giving up for Lent. Fun.
But he's vaping.
Ah!
No.
What?
Gay.
Yeah, nicotine is a drug,
Look
bro.
at this guy. Look at this guy.
Come here and get a dab. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Jesus.
Unnatural.
Love you, Jesus.
Holy moly. Can I hold that up for the camera? For the 7 people. Oh, you guys, check this shit out. You too. Check this shit out.
Shishi nai nai.
What are you doing? A hash hole this.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I might drop it.
Yeah?
I could drop that. That's
You gonna
dangerous.
smoke it?
I'm gonna pass this.
See? Fuck you, dude.
You want this?
Here.
He should probably not.
Roll up a hash hole with some.
Let me get a fucking.
What? Where is
What?
this?
You can take any jar and roll a hash hole
Oh,
with
for
it.
real?
Yeah,
Oh, man. Why, thank you.
if you want. Depends on how big your hash hole is. But
I have a big hash hole.
Big what?
Big.
Hash hole?
So, hey,
What?
I was I was working with the plants and the black blue goo. I was gonna clone it. So I wrote BBM on it, and like I remember you saying like BBC like real fucking subtly. So I was fucking giggling to myself in the room by myself, like BBC, BBC, just making the fucking labels.
White label.
It's so fucking funny.
What are those things called? A terp slurp? A slurp? Is that correct?
Man, I would have been stoked with this, Chad.
What is that? It looks like fucking. I mean,
This is the.
Nah, I know what
the
it is. We were just talking about it.
Unsifted, fucking dry sift, right? Proper terminology, and this is the sifted dry sift.
I mean, it's
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
I'll eat it.
For real, right?
I would use it
Yeah.
for a cleaner.
And it's like a year and a
gummy
half
grade.
old. It's fucking old as shit. It's so old. It was sitting in a buddy's freezer. But hey, man, can I try and get it? He's like, yeah, no problem. So he gave it back. It was just an experiment. I think the farm one's gonna look pretty nice. It's quite a bit.
For science.
Fucking freeze that shit as soon as it's done trimming.
Yep. I gotta do the separation right now.
Sweating like a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm good. Too much flour.
It's hot. It's hot in here.
No, it's not. There's an AC right there. Dude, my feet is frozen. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Blowing up. And then
You
falling
can
down.
tilt it down to us.
I know, but I didn't want it blowing like directly at us, dude. Then we're gonna be really fucking chilly.
Chilly.
I think it was more the way I said really, and
Really
then I had to
chilly.
match it with the next word. So,
All right, man. What's the sacrificial lamb there?
what are all those little tiny jars over there? Just different strains of.
Yeah, here.
What? Which one? Oh, you know what we should do? Here, take this beautiful piece out.
That piece brought to you by Hybrid Collective, located in beautiful Kaimuki.
Use the bano.
Oh, fucking.
Probably won't do the 3-paper fatty in lieu of it being such high quality hash. We'll do like a 2-paper fatty. But you want to put down?
No. What am I doing? What?
Close your eyes and just kind of like.
You want me to spin it for you and then you'll pick it?
Sure. Let's do it. All right.
Wait, should we all?
Hash roulette.
Yeah, hash roulette. I'll be honest.
Which one? Okay.
Don't spin it fast now.
They're gonna all fly off.
Yeah. Pa! Hits me in the face. Tell me when to go.
Wait, I'll tell you when to stop. Should I not look either though? Because then
Tell
I
me when
can
to
see.
stop.
It's rubbing the mic stuff.
Okay, go.
Oh, that worked out perfect.
You
I
like
mean-
chose it for him.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like that was pretty retarded. That was pretty
No, I said
fucking.
it's rubbing the
thought it was
it's rubbing the
Steven
mic
Seagal for a
the mic
second.
arm. That's why
Well,
it's
that
not
was part of the,
moving.
the
That was pretty
theme
dumb.
music. That was stupid.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, this
I mean, it's not one of those. Oh, there it
yeah,
is.
you just
Yeah,
added
well.
had
too
to
much
do that
mustard
earlier.
in it.
We don't have to do it again. There was a winner.
Yeah, whatever. We got one.
All right, trop it is.
We're all
What is
winners.
it?
Oh, unless you don't want Trump.
I'm down for trops.
What is it? What's trop, dude? Why are you guys talking about trop like that?
Orange, tangy, citrus.
The guy on Kapu says this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Can't have. Alexia?
Fuck.
Oh, that was me.
I like smell.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah. That's why we put these over here for you.
I brought on these fucking gassy strains with me too.
Then mix the Ban Oreo. Unless you want fruity yes.
Ban Oreo.
Bruce Banner and Oreo something?
It's
No.
ban-
Banana.
banana OG times Oreos is what I believe.
Banoreos. Banoreos.
Oreos normally does not wash well.
Oh yeah.
That was a cut that. Banana
I
OG is
figured-
one of those ones that usually when crossed works well as a washer. That's why you see a lot of these Strananas and things like that. It's, I believe, a lot of them go back to the Banana OG.
No shit, huh? I love banana OG. When I first fucking smoked that shit, it was nice.
I used to hate banana terps. Jay from Hybrid will
I like
sit
that
on
head
this. Will sit on this day in and day out of me hating on banana terps. And now, after getting to sample a lot of Terry's garden with his honey bananas, and I don't know, my first experience was like a green banana, and it wasn't really nice.
Oh
I
yeah.
enjoyed the high, even though it was flour back in the day. But
Tastes like un patele.
bruh, banana, I don't know, like banana in a smoothie is nice. You know what I mean? Like banana can be great, but just a fucking plain banana sometimes just is just like, I don't know.
plain banana's just not banana enough.
Yeah, or it's too banana-y, you know what I mean? Or if it's not ripe, it's got a little bit of that green.
Or candy. It tastes like candy. You know, like that Runts candy fucking
Artificial banana flavor.
I hate
That's
that
what I
shit.
hate. That fucking runs the
But
candy.
I like that fucking
The
banana OG because of the potency of it. Like how it made me feel. Like, oh my god, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. Someone tag me out.
He's been tagging us in and not smoking the whole time, just delivering
that's
the
what
joy.
it means to be kapu, bruh.
Poor guy.
Nice of him.
So nice.
Yeah,
So nice.
generous.
Well, turtle doves meant to fly, man.
Thank you.
Clip the wings.
That's about a 2 paper.
So what we're gonna talk about? What happened and the bills and
Nah.
no.
Let's save that for another one. I believe Cannabis Society Honolulu or Hawaii wanted to come on, or we asked him to come on, and he didn't respond. So we'll see. We'll see.
But isn't those like aren't those next decisions happening pretty soon?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Is there nothing we can do about it in the meantime?
I mean, come on and drop knowledge, man. Whatever you guys can, and you know. I don't know what the fuck's going on, honestly. I try and comprehend it, but I can only get so far. I get lost in the sauce, bro. I'll be honest with you. I got pretty cool representatives that kind of know my direction too. You know, shout out to May. Like she kind of knows where I stand, and she's like, "Kalei, you might want to check this out." So then that's where I'll dig. You know.
We gotta get her back on with this.
Yeah, we
to
should do
explain
something
this
with
Senate
her.
bill that just passed.
Yeah,
I believe it was just collectives, right? 5 card stack, tops in the medical program.
before moving towards legalization, I believe it's been so crisscrossed with how they've presented it this year. All the way down to one of those bills, the sunset clause, as well as repealing, but limiting to 5 or more. So, like, a lot of people were confused on how they should position that, when the real issue at hand should be describing what a caregiver should be, because it was never properly discussed. And if you have the ability to caregive, you should be able to caregive for as many people as you can, in my opinion. Maybe not in a residential area, but I think that's what needed to have been changed. And I think, like, I don't know, it's really confusing. Like, why would they position it like that? Like, is that a ploy? Like, I don't know. I want to have trust in our system, and I know, and I've said this over the last 2-3 years, change is inevitable. I think legalization should happen. I'm pro-legalization, but the right road to legalization is what I believe needs to transpire, but I don't know if I have faith in our state or our current system to make sure that happens. And I don't think this year's bill was really put together with any other intent than getting a bill pushed through. I don't know. I love this plant, and I want to be able to be remembered as somebody, when I'm said and gone, that contributed and provided value and care to people for alternative medicine in the state. And I don't know where that roadmap goes and how we handle things in this state. I love it. This is where I grew up and where I call home. We like to do things really, really fast, unplanned, and to the lowest bidder. And when we do stuff like that, what happens is we get fucked up programs where specific people and limited few people benefit, and the masses become workers for those people. And that's the change that I want to see. It's inevitable. I want to see people being able to make a living in cannabis in Hawaii, whether it be multiple bud tenders, delivery people, whatever. If you want to call it a home and be able to provide a living for it in this space, I'm all pro for that. But I believe people should be able to have, and certain people should be considered at the table who have been providing care to our medical base that aren't considered and haven't been, and their voice is not listened to. So it's hard. I wanna be for and pro legalization, but a lot of the times I don't have faith in what I've currently read and sat down and I don't know. It was disappointing. I totally agree. It comes down to communication. We're dealing with lawmakers that are basic human beings as well, that don't deal well with animosity and the
Same
cannabis
shit
community
over and over again. You know what I mean?
The cannabis community. That's one thing I want to say, like, and not to butt heads or get political or anything like that. What I would like to see more in our community is it coming together, as well as the state listening to the people that currently exist in that community. I don't want to use this analogy, but I'm going to. We grew up in Hawaii, small city vibes. We rock our zip codes. My lifted Yoda and my gold chain is bigger than yours. I'll come say what up, kiss you on the cheek, but I'm going to turn back and say my shit's better than yours. And that has, I feel, held back our community in terms of cannabis or whatever scene there has been out here. And I think that's sad. You know, one thing that I took out of going to Spain was seeing their market. And it's one of the most attention to detail, cared for. In Europe, their interpretation and love for resin and the resin head itself is true full melt I'd never really seen until I was in Spain and really, really experienced guy having jar after jar of pure heads. And one thing that they do there is they have from Terps Army, La Sagrada Familia, Slight, HQ Barcelona, all these coffee shops that are competing against each other and brands, and they compete against each other in competitions and all this stuff, but they're always like helping each other out. So it's not the constant my shit's better than yours and nobody on a straight basis really leveling up when they like rise together. And maybe that's more of a black market, behind the scenes, old school culture when people were, because they needed to know each other and be connected. And we've kind of lost where we hang our hat in that. But I don't feel like what I would like to see is the politicians listening to the right people, as well as these new opportunities that they're saying they're going to create. Be focused on people that should receive those. I feel like it hasn't. And yeah, I don't know. Kalei, we sat down to this, talked about it in 2018 and how we plan if we ever wanted to be able to grow our own cannabis and like having farmland and being able to just in your own self produce for your family on a plot of land, and how you'd legally go according to that plan. Like not having more than 5, listening to the sunset clause, saying where we stand on that.
But you know, my position on it has definitely taken a different direction. Like, yeah, I agree to most of that stuff, but from seeing from a different perspective now, realizing that some of that shit, yeah, I'm down to be compliant, but I know that there's some fuckery on the other end where potentially me as a small business, it leaves me wide open for getting like, you know, DP'd by the fucking man. Yes. So like I want, all that sunset clause shit. I want that to be there, but I also want reassurance that fucking I'm still gonna be there. You know what I mean? Like you can't just drop market prices, because we heard it even at the panel. Like let's drop market prices, flush out everybody, and then bring them back up. I don't want that shit happen to me as a small business.
No, I totally 100% agree. I think the attention should be around a well-focused horizontal market to include those people. And there's plenty of examples out there, whether it be on a horizontal market, that be through manufacturing, and however, there should be inclusion for those people, whether it be producing on a medicinal level only, or wanting to take the step and having the ability and land and production and scale ability to horizontally enter and provide a living for their families and others.
Some integrity.
In our system, and I don't feel like that has ever been protected. I don't know, from the previous license holders to, I don't know.
That's a hell of a tall order, though.
It's there's a lot, and I think that change is inevitable, and it needs to be done. That's a touchy subject.
Well, it seems like they're just kind of rushing and kind of sacrificing like the perfect way that might take longer just for like a good enough way to get it passed. And
When I got sober,
They're
I'm all
rushing it.
about feelings, and like for real, when they passed and all the talks about legalization, I'm like flashbacks to 2016, 2017. We need to get something out there because we're so far behind the ball, and this is it. And we have to do it. And now is now. And we all know what happened in 2016 and 2017 from our fucked up program to how it never should have been legalized, and we could go on and on conversations around that. But the reality is it's happening again, and I really feel the attention, if we're going to go that route, needs to be heavily focused on this. Like, I don't agree with the DOH managing the program. I believe it should have its own authority to decriminalize it, and a lot of different things. Like, there's positive talks going on, and certain people should have those conversations and be at the table to have those conversations. But yeah.
See,
well, I'm sorry for bringing it up. I mean, you said I don't want to talk about it, and then we just talked about it for the last like 15 minutes. But yeah, I don't trust the system for much things either, and it sucks. And you wonder sometimes if it's just like they're incompetent or if it's like intentional and malicious.
I look at it this way. We're behind the ball. However you want to see it in terms of needing to legalize this plant. But really what it comes down to is, like, we've got the worst school systems in the nation. We've got the worst roadways. Like, those are two things that general excise tax or some sort of tax could be benefited through cannabis and allocated, not to the normal general excise tax or normal tax fund. It needs to be specifically concentrated or dedicated and allocated. And I feel like a lot of those steps aren't being addressed. And yeah, let's get legalization over with and we'll address those things. Is okay, that's what they said in 2016, 2017. And nothing was ever changed to the program other than helping those dispensaries change the rules to make money.
Right.
It wasn't to lower prices. It wasn't to get more patients through the door. It wasn't to create programs to get more needed medicine out in the streets. And that's where I go, if there's a change to be made, it needs to be made with a huge fucking eyeglass and looked over this situation, and that deals with dedicating the money to it, and the state doesn't like to do that. Look at our water issues.
Look at a lot of the issues we have, like you mentioned, the schools, the fucking roads,
Homelessness. Fuck.
I mean, you could go all night about the shortcomings.
Cardboard tents and fucking tarps. Yeah, it's crazy to see our sidewalks in between private property and establishments and people being forced to only live in those areas, and it's fucking getting worse and worse.
It has gotten worse and worse. They're like encroaching into neighborhoods now, and just like places you've never seen them before. Now they're everywhere.
Yeah. It's kind of scary. I don't know. I remember going to big cities and seeing homelessness, San Francisco, and going off to school and college, and Skid Row in LA, and different areas, and being like, oh, that's what homelessness is. Like, we had it here in Hawaii, but nothing like what we see nowadays. And it's economic development, the bell-shaped curve, that's an inverse bell-shaped curve. The people that actually live in the demographic of age is in Hawaii as people, it should be middle age, it should be a regular bell-shaped curve. However, in Hawaii, as it gets up into the 20s and everyone moves away, and most people that live here are younger or older, and it has to do with economic development and the ability to provide people income to provide for the cost of living that there is here. And we have an inverse correlation. People have the exact same jobs for the exact same companies in a higher economy making less money. I worked for 2 companies, KHON and the Berry Company, which was the Yellow Pages at the time. And the exact same position and title in a different state, even though they had a lower cost of living, would be more pay. And that all correlates to the ability to produce profits in those states. And because we have a smaller population size and a more stretched out demographic, it's harder for them to make money, so they pay less. But we have a harder fucking cost of living. It doesn't make fucking sense. But people have continually made that excuse to pay less in our environment. And we have this huge economic fucking crisis on our hands.
Because corporations are not going to be willing to sacrifice their bottom line just so their employees can live a little nicer. You know what I mean? They'll kick you down a Christmas bonus every once in a while.
But you really
Thank you for your service,
you're
but
really starting to see that, like, okay, let's slap a Band-Aid on it and we're addressing it. It kind of approach slowly starting to fucking show itself. I don't know. I went to Portland. I don't know when the last time you went up to the Pacific Northwest, but fucking homelessness is bad in a lot of places. It's an overall, as a society in America, needs to be heavily addressed. But
a lot of these cities you're mentioning have one thing in common. This is not necessarily the podcast where we talk about those kinds of things, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
You guys getting fucking political on this.
Nah, so I'm trying not to.
Yeah.
But how about you
Good call.
like that 2-paper fatty?
For sure. Well, finish what you're saying, man.
This one. Sorry, I never mean to interrupt. What? What I was saying? Was I saying something?
Yeah.
Democrats. No, yeah,
I gotta
just saying
say,
all
man,
these fucking places
good
have
looking on the fucking dabs. That shit's
all these
fucking super
places
stoned.
have in common is that they're fucking run by Democrats. And
if you're ever smoking like good fucking dabs, I'm just fucking throwing you off on the political shit.
Oh.
You know. You know what I mean? If it's fucking grown good, pressed good, it'll reflect it itself. So yeah, go on about the political shit.
You elect better officials. And I don't know how you do that because voting sucks. Fucking the choices suck. You got to run for office, get good people to run. And then pray your vote
it's
counts.
not an easy task.
No.
It's not that simple too. Like corporate corruption's for real. Like you got to think like sometimes you vote for somebody, but bro, there's like millions of dollars sliding hands there to make sure shit's working. Like let's not forget about that. So it's not as simple as that, but I understand where you're getting at. Yes, that's the moral choice is to go that direction, but honestly, let's be real and be understood that there's some other shenanigans going on that we need to be aware of as we do vote.
Always with the shenanigans.
Moving on with the fucking dabs, though.
But yeah, sorry, my bad.
No, you're fine, dude. Get it out of your system, man. Next
I'll
Thursday.
be quiet. I'll go back to being quiet.
No, you're fine. I just,
Aw.
you know me about politics, dude. I don't think we get anywhere with politics, you know.
No, as much as I despise it, sometimes it's fun. I do try to pay attention because even though I choose not to participate in the game, you still need to pay attention to others that are playing because ultimately it does affect us in one way and another.
It does. It does.
You know?
It does. And that's why, thanks to May and like sisters like that, I tell her straight up. I'm like, May.
I used her little thing to look at the other day when I wrote my opposition.
Exactly. Dude, like, she takes all
And
that
she's
literature.
been doing that for years, and it's gotten better every year. Like,
It's fucking
it
dope.
really, yeah.
Taking
you look at
high-level
it, but
But
information
that's what
and-
the state should be fucking doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
really trying to educate these people on decisions that are going to benefit and affect our society.
It's
Like,
that money, dude. That money keeps them from doing anything. Like, why would they educate the people on what's right? Then you know the voters are the voters.
It's because they can't. They don't even know what it is themselves, you know? Because
Totally.
that's the true sign of like a master of something is like that. You can take this high level knowledge and take it and translate it into everyday language that the layman can understand. Oh, what is this? New software. No. Oh, he got it. Thanks. Thanks, Zero Doves. I'm not freaking out.
Don't forget. I got it.
Anybody talk
But,
shit? Where's the chat?
Right here. No one's talking shit, man.
Uh,
Everyone's in unanimous agreement with what we're talking
With
about.
everything we say, they're just like,
There's
yup.
nobody on.
There's a lot of
There's 5 people.
there's
One,
a lot of
2,
hundreds
3,
popping up in the
4.
chat. Just 100%, everything we're saying.
Yeah. I got a few eggplants though. I don't know what that's about.
What does that mean? On
Big
I mean,
dick,
Turtle Doves,
big
what is
dick
that?
energy. What?
Is that what you got growing now? Eggplants?
I get some eggplants in the front.
Is that a good companion crop to keep
Hey,
your plants warm
I
at
want to give
night?
a quick shout out to my dog for being so fucking healthy and eating her
Let me
first
stand
duck
up again.
through and through. Yeah.
Oh, fresh duck meat.
Brah, snatched it out of the air, fucking feasted on it. I came back, I was like, oh shit, she ate a duck. I saw the feathers, and I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, man, she's not
man.
busted.
Yeah, man.
Have
I'm
you-
so proud.
I'm proud of her.
Have you ever heard of getting her a toy?
Dude, she destroys toys. Oh my god. But yeah, fuck yeah, man. Proud.
It's only a matter of time till she gets that other duck.
Nah, I'm
When that duck gets out, bro, it's over.
I'm gonna buy more ducks.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get
No,
more.
because
ducks.
like at my farm, right, I got up to about 30, almost 40 ducks at one point. We're like, okay, now we have a renewable food source, right?
Wah, wah.
So we can pick them off. We can have more ducks.
Mhm.
Fucking neighbor's dog comes in and just wipes me clean, dude.
Must have been a fun time for the dog, though.
Oh man, it was like Chinatown all over again. It's
What does
like
that mean?
All the roast duck.
Oh.
You ever, bro? Okay, go do me a favor. Go to Chinatown, not you, but go to Chinatown on a mission and just try roast duck. Like order a small plate from every roast duck place. You're gonna find
You got a
You're
lot
gonna
of
fucking,
stops.
you're gonna fucking take a huge shit the
just
next
a
day.
small duck plate. They
Gonna
throw
die.
like 4 pieces in. Just mix that up with roast pork. You know what I mean? Like do that shit,
And what? Taste test all the different spots.
bruh. Oh my god.
How about you film it, Guy Fieri?
Huh?
Huh?
Was it?
Film it, bro.
Yeah,
film it.
Film it, man.
Out
No.
and about. The next
I just do that
podcast.
shit. The last time I was at that place, I was
Roast
like,
duck.
I'm feeling roast duck, and I just like walked that square. I don't know that place. I can't navigate. Ashley could fucking attest to this shit. I don't know
What,
where the hell I'm
Chinatown?
going, dude. I don't know where I'm going.
Isn't it just like one street?
It's like a block, right? And it goes to like,
Kalei
A la
knows
carte.
Hotel Street very well.
yeah. I heard you can. The world pog champion lives in the Hotel Street.
What?
What?
I never knew there was a world pog champion. It's amazing they're from Hawaii.
So fucking funny. Do you remember that shit?
Pogs?
Oh,
Dude,
dude.
I still have some.
I found the honey hole of pogs, and
Oh.
I had like the cheating ones where you staple like multiple.
Oh yeah, yeah, you made slammers. You made
And
your own slammers.
remember, like back in the day, oh, the one that doesn't have a tab is the best one to fucking break. So the S4Us came out with no tab on them. That's actually true because it's actually denser. The cardboard's a lot denser. Fucking unreal, dude. And then
glad
Winner's
you
Choice
know.
started making fucking plastic ones. I started using that at Kalei and just taking home monstrous amounts.
I had like sets of pogs that were still on the sheet of cardboard, and they're like punched but not punched out. Like
Yeah, the Lilio Kalani ones,
Or
the
like-
Hawaiian set.
I had like a Street Fighter set and like all these
Yeah.
other ones, dude.
But those weren't the traditional Street Fighter art that we were used to. They're like
No,
more
no,
characteristics
yeah,
ones,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
dude. Remember those?
From
Blanca
Win-
was like a little generic.
and they were like glittery or like
Yeah.
shiny.
Remember that
Hologram.
Remember
Hologram,
that
maybe
liquor
not
store in
glittery.
Waimalu Shopping Plaza?
No.
So there's this liquor store. He used to sell to underage kids. Shout out to that guy.
Oh, Jumps?
Was it Jumps?
Yeah.
Well, I remember fucking buying beer, and I was like looking in the wall. I know there's like toys from like foreign countries, and he had this one. It was Spider-Man, dressed as Spider-Man with different like a little bit more little less webbing on his body. And it's called Spider-Man. Dude, it was the funniest shit ever. I was like, I want it. I want to buy this shit.
Have you heard of Spooderman?
Spider-Man. The Canadian Spider-Man.
I don't know what it is. I've heard my son and say it.
Spooderman, eh?
Spooder.
Got it. The Canadian thing.
The Canadian. Hey, yeah, you want to use that dab rig over there? It's pretty fucking. It's nice, dude. Oh, that sucks. You should. How about just a banger?
He just was
You
saying
wanna
he's a
use
snob.
You want to just use a banger? Just swap it up real fast. It's a fucking nice 10 mil, 45 degrees. Probably won't work for
Doesn't
yours.
look like an even 45, bro.
It isn't. Thanks for shouting it out, you fucking asshole.
Or like a 48.3.
And I didn't get it from Hybrid Collective. See,
No,
if
all
you
their-
want
all the
if you want a
45
true 45, you go on Hybrid. If not,
Jay, this piece needs verified.
Jay, this piece needs a piece.
Peace.
Peace. Dude, you want to light that fucking joint? You lit it.
I was
and
trying
it
to,
went
and
out.
then we started saying something, and then I forgot what we were saying, and then I was trying to figure out what we were saying,
That's
and
the
then
one
we
thing.
started talking about that shit.
I'm getting like 10-second Tim over here with these fucking dabs. Can I have another dab, please? What do Kalei
This
wants
is the
to
most
try?
dabbiest episode we've ever done.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you, sir.
Glad to have participated. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad didn't do any.
Ready for another?
No.
Yeah.
Never
we
again
had
in my
we
life.
had the pre-filming, the fucking
Never.
the special Patreon filming.
Yeah.
Anybody want a dab?
Log into our Patreon,
I'll
and
take one.
maybe you can see it there for a nominal fee.
Yeah.
Our OnlyFans.
Cold sweats. The OnlyFans. We will cold sweat.
If you want to see me glisten.
And like
And just-
you'll have the O face without the O, like.
Yeah. Can animate something, and that's fun.
I know. My boy Alex, he's trying to pitch to me that using OnlyFans as a source of education is a viable way. I told him, I'm not in, dude. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I couldn't see myself on that platform doing education.
I mean, that's just Patreon.
Right. What you got to say, Chad?
My OnlyFans got shut down.
Oh yeah. You mean to tell me there's no demographic for the hash Yeti? What?
Ship sailed.
I mean, how bad's your feet?
They're not as sexy as your toenails.
Yeah, dude.
I just want to say, Kalei has pawned off for years that his daughter is the one that paints his nails,
You
and
know-
that's why he used to get his nails painted. When I was in college, this fool used to show up to my dorm with painted fucking toenails before it pre-twinkle in his fucking eye.
All right, that's where my daughter got it. She saw me with fucking like painted toenails. She's like, Dad, can I do it? I'm like, word, go for
When
it.
you ask about it, he's not saying his daughter did it. He's telling you his daughter did this shitty job. I could have done it way better myself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like.
Yeah.
She painted his nails once.
She does it now for
Believe
him.
what you want.
She does it now
They're
for him
painted.
because he
Dude,
taught
she's
her
getting
how.
sick at that shit. I'm
She
watching
does
how
French-
she's doing that shit.
French tips and stuff.
No, just coloring in the lines.
I'm gonna die on this.
Putting little roses on your
They're just
big
solid
toe.
red, fool.
I know they're very fucking red and
I was
pointy.
like, what kind of color?
They look
is
kind of
that?
sharp, dog.
Yeah, I gotta cut my fucking talons.
Yikes, bro.
And like, I never wear shoes, right? So my fucking toenails are like horrible,
I've
horrible.
been wearing a lot of shoes lately.
I never wear shoes, dude. I think that that's bad for you. You see, that's what happens when you wear shoes. You burn yourself.
Don't drop them on the J's, bro.
Yeah.
I know that. I moved my feet first before I even thought about
You gotta
what's
correct
happening with
that.
the foot. Nope. Not that.
Yup.
Sorry.
Let me put up a fire. You
You put it out for me. I got fucking Jordans on.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Choose something for me, dude.
Lemon goji sour diesel.
Bring it on.
Lemon, what, diesel?
Let me what?
Lemon goji.
Goji?
Yeah, sour diesel times lemon goji cran Skittles.
Yeah, all that shit.
Did you smell this one?
I did. That one's fucking nice, dude.
Different.
I may bullshit a lot, but yeah, trust me, I appreciate this kind of stuff.
That's usually when I know when I am high is when I start dropping shit. Sorry,
Totally.
I know you guys were totally onto something else already, but I was.
You recalled it. Take another dab.
I
then.
took a break. No.
Yes.
When was the first time you got high?
Oh, first time I got
Shout
high.
out to Charlie Miller.
Charlie Miller in the building. My parents went on vacation to Vegas, and my brother had all of his friends over at the house. This is Kahamanu Street. And I was in 6th grade going into 7th, or 7th going into 8th. Anyway, my brother invites all of his friends over, plastic bong. He's got this plastic bong with the little perk on the back of it. And he tells me, all of his friends are there. Oh, my brother's going to smoke weed for the first time. Fuck yeah, let's get him high. Brand new 20 sack. Picturing it back being high school kids, big old fat little sack.
A ton of weed.
Packs me in a big old bowl with it. And right before I hit it, he goes, make sure you exhale before you hit it. So I put my lips on the bong and I exhaled and shot water all up in the full bowl. And my brother falses me right in the face and knocks me off the chair on the ground. And it's like, what the fuck, bro? You just ruined the whole 20 sack. What the fuck? I didn't even get to get high.
Remember 20 sacks?
And that was I know. Somebody asked me how much an eighth was the other day, and I was like, bro.
Well, that's not what I asked. I asked when was the first time you got high. That's not the story I want.
That was the first time I got high. So that weekend, we went to, that was like the Friday night. Saturday or Sunday, my brother's friend lived in Huilo Ridge. And we went up there, and he was a very wealthy kid, family. And he had a big old flat screen. And I got high, smoked a joint, and sat in front of remember back in the day, fizzy TV screens?
You're
And
watching porno, aren't
no,
you?
there was nothing on it. It was just fucking lines. And my brother came in the room, and I was full on laughing my ass off. And my brother
Best
interrupts me,
stand-up
and he's
ever.
like, what the fuck are you laughing at? And I looked up, and I was like, oh, it's fucking blank.
Dude, do you
I
remember?
was so high.
Do you remember those
You got
magic
caught on
eye
a train of
posters?
thought. Yes.
Maybe you were like tapped into something and you saw that in in the lines on the TV. You ever? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I was in a dope house. You could see through his roof to the pool upstairs. They had like sensors that the parents were coming downstairs to their level. Fucking trampolines outside. I was like fucking in a dope ass house, like stoned off my ass looking at a blank TV screen for like 2 hours. That was the first time I got high.
It's like, why are there cameras around this?
I
This
found
is like
this.
1999.
Dude, that's an absurd fucking absurd place to live. Hoy Lower Ridge. Like, you saw some, dude, I used to do ADT, like, alarms and shit. So, like, I'd go into people's houses and,
I've never been up there.
bruh, I literally got lost in this one guy's house. I was like, huh. I was walking down, I was like, oh my God, like, where the fuck am I? It's like a long hallway, and it went downstairs and shit, and like corridors. And when I was like done mounting all this shit, I turned around, I was like, wait a minute, how the fuck do I get out of this place? Like serious kind, bruh. Fuck, dude. It's a crazy architecture over there, and it's beautiful too. Like, you can see out, all of them have like this facing window. You can see that ridge in the valley, and it's beautiful.
I remember in high
Yeah,
school
the
saying that was
swing
the
and shit.
$1 million or more hillside. I wonder what the minimum is of a house up on Hawaii
Over there?
Ridge now.
Like,
Yeah.
at least
What
10.
year was that?
Like 99.
Oh my God, dude! Like tens of millions.
Yeah. Still, probably more now. 20, 30.
Out of our reach. I'm sorry.
Wait, speak for yourself.
Out of my reach. I don't want to be there if it's that much.
Yeah.
I kind of don't.
I don't need the big house on the hill. I just need a house. Bunch of carrots.
I was looking at my kids, and I was like, man, you guys lucky. You guys got fucking good clothes. You guys got fucking good food in the fridge. Like, everything is cool. You guys aren't going anywhere. Damn, this is pretty cool. They don't have to worry about, like, oh, is the lights gonna come off, or are we gonna have anything to eat tonight? Like, all kind of, the shit that in Hawaii you would see. I'm fortunate my kids don't have to fucking do that at all. So hell yeah. That's all I could ask for.
My son, it's so dope to watch him grow and to be able to do what I do and have been able to do what I do. But also, I don't know, I grew up out here in Hawaii, and I didn't have a house where I could grow anything. I grew
Or
up
have
in
him run around in the
townhouses.
backyard,
Yep. And it's, he goes to a school that's on a farm, and they teach him all different types of cool different things. Like, they go and have open farm days and get to go and pull baskets of fresh fruit, and they plant.
That's why the monetary value, we're not going to be rich.
Goats, and teach
But
them
we
about
can do
goat
that.
milk and fresh harvest of the eggs at the farm, and it's really cool. But I think it's super important that shit be around and people understand that. I don't know. I didn't know what a steak was.
Here's a
It was
question.
just a fucking steak. I didn't know where it came from. Same thing with like farming. People should definitely know. It's important generationally to have that.
Well, here's a question. You think if you had a 9 to 5, your wife had a 9 to 5, and you guys weren't around for your son to be put in a school like that, you didn't have the QC to make sure he could be in that direction. You think that he would be, so it's what I'm trying to say is it's because of cannabis that we're able to be more free, to open our lives up, to be more in control of things like that. Like,
100%.
I'm way more involved in my daughter's life than 90% of the dads out there. I'd say.
You don't have to make a decision of working on that. Does it work? You're never in a position where you got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, and it's all education. Like, that's my service. So it's like I don't have to be looking over my shoulder. Everything comes fluently that way.
Shit, that's why.
Yeah, it's everything. Everything comes natural, and it's like it's stable, and that's all I could ask for.
Sorry, play footsies.
It's holding out pretty good.
How long have we
man.
been recording for? I feel like.
nine.
Oh shit! What?
9:30.
Oh fuck yeah! We should wrap this motherfucker up. That's pretty
It's a nice one.
pretty long, dog. Yeah.
Went into
Alright.
hash, but not totally a round hash.
It's a good episode. It's a good episode.
Talked way too much about politics.
Nah, it was only like 25 minutes
What was that?
talking about politics and shit. Anyways, you want to tell people where they can find you, follow you? No.
Yeah. No.
Too bad.
I've got 2 pages that I have. My main page is what I created. It's kind of my hash content or cannabis page. It's called Mad Chiller's Headstash. It's the brand that I created when I started making hash and competing. And I also started a new venture with helping my friends get exposure for their brands called the Terp Locker. And yeah, hopefully
That's a cool name.
at your next sesh or next jar of rosin.
Who knows? Next edible.
Oh yeah, Chiller Chews.
Chiller. Oh, that's another great name.
That is a great name. You motherfucker. See?
Got them all. Stole
All
them
that, all that education, man. I'm telling you, this motherfucker.
10 milligram hash rosin.
Chiller
gummies.
chews.
And what about you, sir?
I want more chiller chews.
Oh. Nah. Where can people find you, Mr.
The Grow Guru Hawaii. Shout out to the Aloha Cup for having me as a judge.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
When is that? Tell
It's gonna be
people when
fun. I believe it's 420 in Waimanalo.
At the
So,
Nation.
I'm gonna go bring some, bring my lungs, and a clear head. You know, come in pretty professional about this because if all the growers deserve that shit, you know.
Show up with your own paper or your own pencil, ready to.
I'm gonna come in on depends on the criteria that they have presented. Then I would adjust accordingly. Yep, Grow Guru Hawaii, and we're gonna be launching the online shop pretty soon. The Guru's Grow Supply.
And Voices for the Planet. You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube. Check out the podcast. It's going great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Killer.
Production crew. Cool. Got it.
Here, but not here.
Make one already. Yeah, fuck, dude.
That's a good one.
All right, and shout out to our sponsors, Mills Nutrients, millsnutrients.com. Go check them out. Mills pays the bills. Over 30 years of quality nutrients.
Quality nutrients.
I was trying to think of what the word is used in the commercial so I could make sure it's the same thing. But yeah, check them out on Instagram. Mills pays the bills. And Pakalolo Farmers, I'll move out of the way. Go check them out. Instagram, pakalolofarmers.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Meat Lux for your, what is the code? A1? A5?
A5.
A5 Wagyu
Wagyu.
from Iapana.
Cannot forget
Hybrid Collective.
What was it done
your
yet?
go-to
That's what I'm
dabbing
talking
supply store
about. Oh, Chad's taking
on
over.
Wiley Hybrid
well,
Collective
Taking over, okay.
Oh, shit.
for all your cannabis and dabbing needs.
We like that.
Yeah.
And apparel.
Should I have
Apparently,
done that
there's
one
apparel.
before Meat Lux? I'm sorry.
Nah, we're fucking let it slide, dude. We're good.
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. Okay.
I got ahead of myself.
Yep, Hybrid Collective. No, good. I like the ad lib, dude. Fuck,
Boner.
get it. There you go.
And Brutal Mars Arts for your
Graphic arts.
graphic arts needs, bro. Check them out. They made our logo. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Nice.
For the 4 of you. Wave. Show this to the camera, bro. I mean, they'll see it in the fucking thing anyway. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, everyone on live. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Thanks for having me.